Hello, FlossTube. It is, oh, hi, I'm Jules. Thank you for coming to my channel, watching my video. It is November 8th. I can't believe it's already almost mid-November. We're only a few weeks to Thanksgiving, and kind of excited about that. I love November, February, and December and January in between as well. Don't know why I jumped in and said February, but I like all that. I'm using a little different setup this week. I've got this super bright thing right in front of me. I'm gonna actually take it off because I feel like, well, you can see the different lighting that it provides. It would be better if it was up here, but I don't think I really have any way to connect it up here. Hold on, it's this little thing right here. It's kind of cool. It's like a little ring, and it has a little hook on it. How about that? That actually is pretty good. It almost looks like it's a spotlight, although it's not a spotlight. But anyway, the last week, cross-stitching wise, has been uneven. And we know how those go. We have the best intentions. We start off strong, and then we get distracted. And my problem this week was I try to do too much stitching downstairs where the dogs are. And when you have as many dogs as we do, 7, you know, they're very needy, and there's always 1 or 4 that need attention almost at all times. So if I'm in my little downstairs stitchy chair working on my cross stitch projects, at least 2 of them at any one time are asking for attention. So I cannot get into a groove and a rhythm. And so I'm gonna have to revert back to coming upstairs and getting, at least every day, getting some concentrated stitching time done, because I just don't get nearly enough done when I'm downstairs. And it's not good, but you know, obviously there are times when I've got to be downstairs. I really enjoy hanging out with the husband, of course, and the dogs, but you know, if I'm going to get stitching done, I've got to come upstairs and have my little stitchy time. So I've got to get remotivated and refocused to do that. So you'll see it in my projects this week. Some of them got a lot of attention, others got none, but for the most part, I did make some progress on certain projects, and we are definitely heading towards getting a couple of finishes done before the end of November. So that is good. I'm going to show you my t-shirt. You guys have seen this one before. This one's one of my favorites. I like to party. And by party, I mean cross-stitch. Amazon. I don't know if they have it. If they do, I'll look for it, and I'll put the link down below if they do carry it. But we'll have to see about that. Other developments. I've started a couple other YouTube channels. I don't know if you guys will be interested or not. I've had a few people that actually found, or I linked the last video to my dogs channel. Since we have so many dogs and they do so many weird things, I do make videos of them on occasion. Some of my friends and family love to watch them. And so I thought, you know, some of you guys have been asking about them, so I thought perhaps you'd like them too. So we're going to link them up here. Let's see how good I am at editing. Gonna link them up here. And then the other channel is I finally got my aquarium channel kind of going. And I've had some videos that I've made of them over the last month, 3-4 weeks or so, but I've just kind of been accumulating a few videos here and there. Mostly my snails are the entertaining parts of the bunch. And I've told you guys about the snail that I think that the King Kong parrots killed. And I'm not 100% sure that that particular snail is dead. And the reason why I say that is because he's been pushed around the tank a fair bit, but the other day, a couple days ago, we found him on the side of a piece of wood. And I don't know how, if he's dead, he can get on the side of a piece of wood. And as I was looking at him, he had these little tentacles that were out. They were kind of like waving. Now, theoretically, they could have been waving in the current, but the wood was between the snail and the wave maker. So theoretically it shouldn't really have current there, and they shouldn't be stuck on the side of wood. So I think it's playing possum. I think potentially the one snail that I thought was dead could be playing possum and might still be alive in that tank. I am keeping a close eye on it, and I have a few videos of that particular tank up on the channel, but I'll put the aquarium channel up here. Blah, 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 blah. So if you guys want to go check it out, they're really short videos, and it's just so if you guys are interested in seeing what my fish actually look like, there they are. No big deal. What else is going on? So, We're almost done with the bees. I think we are done with the bees for the year. Pretty much my husband has finished the winter preparations of getting them prepared for the winter in terms of making sure they have enough food and making sure that they're secure enough and are protected enough for the winter. That being said, and his parents watched this video, and you guys are going to want to listen to this and talk to him as you see fit. So the last 3 weeks that he's gone to check, the last 3 times that he's gone to check the bees, he's been stung. And the first time he was stung on the leg and it didn't cause any issue whatsoever. And the second time he got stung behind the ear and it just swelled up a little bit and it was a bit painful and wasn't a big deal. But this past Sunday, he came home from checking the bees and he had been stung on his wrist, on his dominant hand. He's a left-hander. And it was a bit swollen. It was kind of, uncomfortable for him. And he mentioned, it seemed like it was maybe a little worse than before. And we just kind of watched it and whatnot. And I talked to him about, maybe we should take some Benadryl or some things. But he's not a big fan of taking those things. So I just backed off and watched. And by the time we went to bed Sunday night, the arm was through here visibly swollen. Definitely swollen and kind of hard feeling and whatnot. And we were like, okay, well, we'll see how it is in the morning. And I gave him he said he would take half a Benadryl or something that night. And so we went ahead and did that. And then we woke up Monday morning and his arm was most definitely, it was like twice the size that it should have been, all the way from like here to here. And it was like hard as a rock and it was hot. And, but his hand and his fingers weren't swollen yet or anything like that. And I was just like, maybe we should take some Claritin or something. And he's so stubborn about stuff like that. He just wants to tough it out. And, he's one of those guys that you hear a lot about, the kind of husband or the kind of guy that when they get sick, they get very needy and they can't do anything for themselves. And my husband's the exact opposite. When he gets sick, he doesn't want any help. He wants to just be by himself and he'll get over it on his own. It's no big deal. And part of being married or getting married in your 40s is giving up a little bit of that independence and a little bit of that self-sufficiency. And I've had to do that as well. And I find it tough. I find it tough when I'll be in a situation that before I would have just taken care of everything and I would have just toughed it out and who cares. And now I'm like, well, if he wants to help, can you help me? Can you do this? Can you do that? But when it came to this bee situation, he wanted to just tough it out. But so we went to work on Monday morning, and about 10 o'clock on Monday morning, he's like, maybe I should go to urgent care or the ER. And I was like, what's going on? And he said that, the arm was getting really hot and that the swelling had spread and that he wasn't feeling great. And, his coworkers were like, maybe you should go to the ER kind of thing. So thankfully at work, I wasn't terribly busy. So I ended up taking the rest of the day off. And we met at a urgent care that was close to where we lived. And sure enough, by the time that I saw him that morning, the swelling had progressed to the entire hand and fingers. And he had like a cartoon hand, like a cartoon arm, like the kind where you do something to it, like you blow it up and it puffs up all the way. And it was at this point like up about halfway up his bicep. And I was pretty worried about him at that point. And I thought, maybe we need an injection of steroids, injection of Benadryl. The doctor at urgent care did not think so. The doctor basically said, well, let's put him on a couple different antihistamines, send him home, elevate the arm, put some ice on it, and go from there. And so that's what we ended up doing. I stayed home with him that day, and I started pumping antihistamines into him, and he slept an awful lot. Felt much better by the evening. Swelling started to go down. And it's Wednesday night at this point, and it's almost back to normal. It's almost back to normal. So everything's good. We just have to be more careful. He just has to be more careful around the bees and make sure that the suit is fully secured everywhere before he goes to mess with them. So one of the things that irritate me about beekeeping is you'll see, if you watch any videos on YouTube of people beekeeping, is that there is a fair number of, let's say, overconfident idiots that are out there with no equipment, that are out there in their t-shirts and their jeans, and they don't have any protection on, and they're out there messing with their bees. And that really, they may be fine in that. You know, if the bees are comfortable with them and the bees are not in any sort of defensive behavior because they're protecting something like honey or babies or anything like that, you know, the bees may be fine and they may be able to handle them just fine, but it sets a poor precedent or example for other beekeepers that, hey, maybe you guys can get away with that. And you really shouldn't just mess around with bees. We, you know, a lot of us know that. And so, but it was just a helpful reminder to be mindful of that. But he's fine. He's okay. Everything's cool. Nothing to worry about. But I just had to bring that up because that was sort of the major thing that happened this week. But outside of that, you know, not a whole lot else. Like I said, I've been cross-stitching, but not as much as I should be. I've been distracted doing a few other things. But I'm going to show you guys my progress that I've made. I wanted to show you some of the things, some of the long-standing projects that I've been working on. I did make a new start. I did have a new start this week, which is awesome. I want to show you Rainy Watery Place to start. I got a fair amount of, well, I shouldn't say a fair amount, but I did a fair bit more. Let's hold this up. So there you go. So I worked a lot more on this bottom page, on this bottom right, or your bottom left down here. And I finished up a lot of this top part, finished up a lot of this bottom part, and really just kind of getting it all done all the way through here. Wow, I'm really whited out. I apologize, guys. That light is so bright. But as you can see, I've got about 6 grades still to go over here. But I'm working on it. Making some progress. It's all good. But yeah, I worked on that. I think I only worked on that like one night early in the week after that last video. So I didn't get tremendous amount done. But I got a noticeable amount done. Next up is Ronnie Rowe. And my Ronnie Rowe Market Square Tavern, sorry. And I hope you guys can appreciate that I did get more done. It's hard when I don't put up week to week to week. It's really hard. Maybe one day if I want to go back and re-edit everything, like once I finish a project, go and pick out the pieces of video from each and every video, like, oh, look at this was this week and this was this week. You know, maybe it'd be cool to see that long term. But as you can see, what I've done this week is I've done a little bit more right here, a few boxes, and then I did this row right here. So it's truly incredible because like every time I stitch on this thing, I feel like I haven't gotten anywhere. And then I hold it up and I look at it. I'm like, wow, look at the progress. It's so cool. And then I also got a lot more gridding done. I focused on that too because I needed to be able to jump ahead a little bit. And so gridding extra helped me with that. All right. Very cool. All right. I'm going to show you the football piece, the Saturday Evening Post football piece. I worked on it last night. And I got some stuff done, and I worked on it a little bit another night. And what I'm doing now is I'm just filling in everywhere where I skipped a stitch. You know, where the changing colors were so varied that I kind of skipped ahead, and that was a mistake. And that's the problem that I also have with Old World Map 2 is the frequent change of colors on a project like that. I end up skipping some things because I'm like, oh, well, I'll just come back to that and do it later. And then it's harder to figure out which color that you need for those pieces. So I haven't finished the face. I did a little bit more, but I haven't finished the face. So this is what it looks like. This is how big it is, guys, just so you know. But this is what it looks like right now. And so I basically filled in more sort of right in here, and I got more up here done. I filled in more up here. And I got more of the hat done and more of the front part done. So I don't know if you guys can really appreciate that. It gets so whited out with this light. I'm sorry. But I did get more done. It's just this one has turned into a little bit more of a tedious project because I jumped too far ahead when I was working on it. And I need to go back and fill in all the little stitches that I've skipped. And, you know, once I get those done, then I'll be able to finally push forward with more progress. But that's where I'm at with that one. Let's put that over here. Where else am I? Let's see. Oh, I already showed you Watery Place. Let's go over there. All right, let me show you a little bit of, I'm saving God Save the Queen for last because I got a lot done on that. But let's show you guys the E Pluribus Unum, which I did a stitch along on 2 weeks ago, I think. And this is what it looks like when it's complete. Oh, wow, is that washed out? There you go, right there. And so, and if you guys remember, the 2012 I'm replacing with 1776. And the BT, which is the initials for the designer, I'm changing to US. So, thankfully, they include a sampler page, which has numbers and letters. So if you want to change it up, you could, which is awesome. And that is from Heartstring Samplery. Woo! Right there. So good. So I got a little bit more done. Not a ton, but I got a little bit more done. And see, not a little bit, just a little bit. This is how big it is, theoretically. Theoretically. But I pretty much had gotten sort of this done. So I finished the U and I'd come down here. So I'm just kind of gradually spreading across the page. I'd like to come all the way down first just to help guide myself. But, you know, it's actually not too bad stitching. And it's all just one color from, which color is it? It's a gentle thread, uniform blue. So I'm going to have to buy more of that because I'm clearly going to need more. A couple more at least. So I'm going to have to get some more at some point. But I did work on that a little bit, which I was kind of happy about because this requires the magnifiers. Where are my magnifiers? They're not here. They probably are here. They're just stuck in a box somewhere. But they basically, this is something that I have to use my magnifiers on. So when I'm using my magnifiers, I just kind of tend to work on all the same projects, just kind of work through them one at a time. So that's that one. I also worked on the piece for my in-laws, which is, whoop, sorry about the light, guys, yet again, all blacked out. It's My Big Toe, dogs leave paw prints, just dogs leave paw prints on our hearts and drool everywhere else. So if you can see, I'm sorry. There we go. There we go. Oops. There we go, but you can't see it. And there we go. Sorry about that, guys. But it's awesome. I bought a lot of My Big Toe designs when I went to a stitching shop. It was like a month ago. I couldn't help myself. They have so many good projects there. And My Big Toe, I just couldn't help myself. I just grabbed, like four different designs or whatnot. But so anyway, so what am I on? So what am I doing? Where is the project? That's a good question, because the project in my hand is the wrong one. It's oh, here it is. Sorry, the project in my hand was the B one. Anyway, so I got more done here. So last time when I stopped, I had done this and like the D and the O. So this past week I did all of that and this. So the more I work on this, the faster it's going to go. It's not very big. It's going to be adorable. And I can't wait to get it done. That's a piece of fuzz. So, fuzzless. There we go. But anyway, it's adorable. And I can't wait to keep working on it because the fabric is really cool. What kind of fabric is that? 32 count Joblin. And I did absolutely get the 32 count Joblin. So, very excited about that. All right. My last whip, although I'm going to show you my new start here in a second, but my last whip is God Save the Queen. And whoa, God Save the Queen from Annie B's Folk Art. I went and looked at her Etsy page and was like, I think I told you guys this last week, but I looked at her Etsy page to see if I could find, sorry, I put that light out of view, to see if I could find anything else. And she has a bunch of other things, but nothing really grabbed me like this one did. So when I finish this one, I'll keep an eye on her Etsy page, but I don't plan on stitching anything else from her right now. But for those of you guys who have talked about getting this pattern and whatnot, I have to say, I just love stitching this pattern. It is so much fun. And I think part of it is just because it's the one count, but also part of it is because the design is so good. But let me show you where I'm at with it, because I got a lot done this week. I mean, I got a lot done. All right, here we go. Ba-ba. So as you can tell, I'm almost done, which is amazing. And as you can also tell, I'm way off center. That's still no big deal, but I'm always off center. That's my life right there. But anyway, as you can tell, what I got done this week is I pretty much filled in the and UE, and it got a little bit more on the bottom across. So I am heading towards the home stretch on this thing, and probably by next week, it's going to be done enough that you're going to be like, it's not done. It'll probably take 2 weeks to finish, but I definitely am super excited about this one. This is one that I'm keeping. This is one for myself and my husband because of our beekeeping love. And so very excited about finishing this one. Super excited. But because I was finishing this one this week, I was having a problem with getting motivated and figuring out, you know, I've got so many pieces that I haven't started or that I've barely started, and that I need to work back in the rotation. I need to get back into them. And in the end, what I ended up doing was working on the pieces that I got from Gecko Rouge UK. And if you guys remember, I don't know, it's like 2 months ago, I was all excited about getting a couple patterns from Gecko Rouge, and I haven't really done anything on them yet. And let me show you the one that I did start working on. And so this is the Dachshund. And I'm doing this one for a friend of mine who loves dachshunds, and I just love the colors. It's so colorful. It's much more colorful than anything that I normally do. So I went ahead and I'm stitching this on a 14 count Ada that they sent. And where did I put it? I did a little bit of work on it this week because right now it's very straightforward. I'm not even going to take it out of the hoop. I'm just going to show you guys what I got done. Just this. That's all I got done. See, it's about this big. And I started right up here, so I just got a couple of grids done. No big deal. I went ahead and gridded the first page. The one thing that I will say, that if Gecko Rouge UK, if you're watching this, could you guys serge the end of your Ada when you send it, or whatever thread that you know, whatever fabric that you send? Because I'm going to end up serging this. I've got a serger here in the house, and I'll go ahead and serge this. But I'm like, for as much as I paid for this project, for you to put everything together for me and have it all, you know, when you order from Gecko Rouge UK, they send the pattern, they send the fabric and all the floss that you'll need, and they get that directly from the DMC factory in France. So all that's amazing, and it's the colors are beautiful and it's awesome. But come on, guys, you know, first of all, it's like it's not a perfectly straight cut, which is fine. I don't care. But just serge it for me, please. So I need to go downstairs. My serger, I think, is downstairs in the basement with the dogs. But so anyway, so I'm going to do that. But I went ahead and did that one. I started on this one, and then I also pulled out the other project, which I don't think I have handy. Oh, no, wait. It is handy. I went ahead and gridded out the first page. But I'm not going to start on that anytime soon. It's this project right here, which I love. It's beautiful. But I'm doing this project for a couple of friends of mine. And the guy friend, I'm doing the Reaper for him. And I haven't made any progress on the Reaper in a couple of months. And I need to do that one first before I do this one. That one has to be done first. So all I did was just go ahead and just grid the fabric since I had it. And I need to serge both pieces. They both need to be serged and fixed. And maybe whenever I serge those, I can also look at getting Yoda cleaned up. Because remember on Yoda, if you guys watch, I did a Yoda piece and I gridded it, but then I haven't washed it out yet, which is probably not good. I don't care. I'm going to love Yoda no matter what. But I need to go wash out the grid lines and make sure that those come out okay. But that's a project upcoming. I've just been kind of... I was super busy at work last week and so tired at the end of the week. And then I had to work Saturday. I don't hear... Oh, we saw Thor. That's what we did. I was like, what did we do this weekend? But we saw Thor on Saturday. And if you haven't seen Thor, go see Thor. It is awesome. Super funny. Chris Hemsworth looks so much better in short hair and with his beard shaved. And you guys can disagree with me if you like, but you'd be wrong. He's so much better looking, clean shaven and short hair. Oh, man. But it was such a funny movie. a lot of really cool things in it. And our next one that we're going to go see is, I think we're going to go see the Justice League movie that's coming out. I'm not terribly excited about it, but it is a big movie. I do love Wonder Woman. I do want to go see that. And then, of course, the big one after that is Star Wars. My mom is coming in town in roughly a month. She flies out here December 7th, and at some point I'll get her in a little bit of a video for you guys so you guys can see. So pretty much the plan is that, okay, so I didn't even talk about it. Prayer St. Francis, the project for my mom. Haven't done it. Didn't work on it this week at all. Thought I had, but I had not. So that is a priority this week. I need to make some major progress on that one. Need to get close to being done on God Save the Queen, and need to incorporate some of these other pieces. Basically, I just need to sit down and cross stitch a lot more. I need to do it right here in this chair upstairs in this room, and need to find my stitching motivation a little bit again. I had stitching motivation, I just let myself be distracted this week. So I'm looking forward to that. Trying to think if there's anything else going on. I don't think so. So, so if you guys want to check out my aquarium channels, my channels about my dogs, just stupid little videos that I put up, little fun little videos that I put up for family and friends to be able to see, and feel free to look at them or not look at them if you'd like. Links to everything, I put them up here, and I'm also going to put them down below. And stitch along this week. Stitch along. You know, I'm going to do a surprise stitch along. I'm not sure which project I will actually do. It really depends on what I'm feeling that day. And I've got the whole day off tomorrow. The whole day is going to be spent in comfy clothes / pajamas. And I'm going to get a lot of stitching done. I'm going to stay up here tomorrow, and I'm going to stitch till my little fingers fall off. That's what's going to happen. I hope you guys have a great rest of your stitchy week, that you get just as excited for your projects as I am for mine. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed and you're thinking about it, go ahead and subscribe. You get a notification that when I put a new video out, which I usually put them out Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then some point on the weekend I'll do a little live stitch along. I have some ideas for some silly little videos for the holidays and whatnot that I might do in relevance, not relevance. Relevance? Ugh. My brain. I'm done. But anyway, I'm sorry guys. I'm just tired, which is why I have tomorrow off. But enjoy your projects. Feel free to ask me any questions. I love you guys commenting. I love getting to know you guys better from all around the world. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. You really do keep me motivated and keep me excited to go. When I'm feeling a little bit like, I don't know if I want to stitch, I go and check out my comments, and I respond back to pretty much every single one of them, and that gets me going again, and I come upstairs and I gotta stitch some more. So I'm gonna go downstairs, get this video loaded up, and then I'm gonna spend the rest of the night cross stitching and all day tomorrow. So have a great weekend, stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see you soon. Take care.